today's comment, I chose Dario Benkovic, and I hope I pronounced your name right. Pretty funny. You can read it right here. Yeah, we went over train tracks. We're gonna go over some more train tracks. You ready? Yeah. And there it is. So send me your address, Dario, and I'll get you a sticker pack coming.
You know that park?
You like that park?
Yeah.
We don't have time to go there right now. We're going camping, okay?
That looks like a fun park.
It is a fun park. Send me your address, I'll get you a sticker pack coming. Thanks for the comments, guys. I chose this comment because it's funny. On to the video. Let's go. All right, welcome back, guys. It's another day, another video. I'm going on like 10 days of wearing the exact same clothes because I go home, probably don't even shower most of the nights, and then come back to work on it. We have done a whole lot since I talked to you last. We put the fenders on unpainted, we put the doors on unfinished, unpainted, put the fenders on unpainted. The hood's not finished, but we've got to have it all on so I can go drive. We're doing kind of the last minute stuff for it. I don't really have time to film every little thing today because I've been really busy. We got to glue that roof wing on. What?
That's what you're busy with.
Is that King of the Hill? Is that what pulled up?
Okay, for 10 minutes.
That's a good episode.
I'm working on my drift.
Can you duck? You're blocking the wing. There's a wing. How are you doing, Kelly?
I'm all right.
All right, cool. So we still got to do some mechanical stuff. I got to bleed the front brakes. Obviously, the suspension needs to come up in the front. We got to take the 20s off. The rear fitment isn't on point. But that's about it. We got a lot to do. William glued the back window in. We got the rear glass in, but not the side glass. We're going to drive this all the way to Tooele. It's about an hour each way. And I have no idea what's going to happen, but one thing at a time. All right, so it's the final push. Cat Daddy's changing the front ride height because he always says that higher is better.
I could go higher.
Jake's changing the TPS because it was a problem. That was what was causing my car to cut out last night when I was doing the burnout. Wes is mounting tires because we haven't thought about that yet and need tires done. I think this is gonna run good once the TPS is fixed. And I'm really surprised at how wide these fenders are because these are the wheels size that I ran on my other car, and like it's still sunk. I'm probably gonna have to put spacers on this thing to get the fitment I want. But other than that, I think it's gonna be ready to go. I'll probably have to do some sort of a quick toe alignment in the rear camber. The front will be really easy, and hit the road. So we just had the pump running while we were testing the TPS, and Bailey noticed that it's puking fluid all over the ground, and that is ATF, which is what we put in the steering rack. And I noticed that it's leaking on both sides. So over there and over here, which is gonna point me, because on this side I was thinking, oh, it must be the fittings. Maybe we can tighten them, but the fact that it's leaking on that side is telling me that it's probably the rack itself, the boots, not the boots, but the end seals are probably leaking and filling the boots up with fluid. So that may be a deal breaker for this. Once Jake's done, we're gonna lift it up and check it out a little bit better. But I'm not gonna change the rack right now. We were supposed to leave like 10 minutes ago. We're already like in the last final hours. So maybe I'll just turn the pump off and drive it out to the track because I at least wanna drive this thing. But we still got some work to do to it before we can get to that point. All right, so it does turn out that it was a bad rack, and we decided it would only take not that long to do, and Jake is already almost done with it. So we're gonna change the rack out. I had a spare, luckily. This one I can send off for rebuild. Should be a good core. But I bought a subframe in Florida from Jackson. That's right. Jackson Horton. Bought a subframe from him and some other stuff, and so I have that extra steering rack, which means we should be able to fix it in time. I didn't think about that. We've got the steering shaft. That shouldn't be that bad. I did a little bit of a rear alignment. I don't know exactly what it's gonna be because there's like 3 inches of droop on this, but I think if it toes in when I drop it down, we should be towed in a little bit. I don't know how much. I'm gonna take toe plates with us so I can check that, but I'm street driving this to the track, so I wanna make sure that we're not scrubbing the tires all the way there. And then once Jake gets the rack done up front, we can do a quick front toe alignment, and then we should be pretty close to done. I'm gonna weld up this exhaust right now. Kelly just cut it and made it the right length, so at least it'll be a a turn down that comes to here instead of ending right there by Jake's head. We're just getting the toe adjusted. It's 4:53 and the drift event starts at 5 and we are 1 hour from the track. So we won't be too bad. I think everything's gonna work out. Hopefully we put the car down, it starts up, everything works, the alignment's good, it drives on the freeway, all that's good. We got the front lights, the corner lights, the hood latches, no front and rear bumper, no side skirts, no front door panels. Maybe we can hang the front door panels real quick to be more comfortable. No front windows. The roof wing is on, but yeah, still excited. One of the other fine details I'm really stoked on with this car is that we took this little black piece of trim off between the handle and the door. Before that was color matched, so we actually took it off. I took them home and had my wife like get the paint off with nail polish remover and then like get them as clean as possible. That way you've got like a defined line between your door handle and your door. I'm pretty sure from the factory they don't paint that trim, but when lazy people just mask and spray, you get a little trim like that that ends up the same color as the car, which isn't a huge deal, but like that's the kind of stuff to me that makes a car really stand out. Of course, if you can spray well. I've got all sorts of paint problems, but I don't even want to talk about that. So we're about ready to go, everything's all loaded up, and then all of a sudden the car died. It acted like it just ran out of fuel or something, but I don't know exactly what's going on. I guess it'd be really easy to pour fuel in it and try and start it.
Yeah.
Will you pull the gas door thing? I gotta jiggle this open somehow. That's gonna get all scratched up. All right, we're back in business. We were able to get this. I had to bend the door down a little bit, but now it actually opens properly, so that's good. Something else I don't have to worry about. Car was just out of gas. We poured a little bit of ethanol in it. Oh, you got your jump box in there. All right, don't stall, car. Don't stall. Got wheels and tires in the back. Got my helmet. I'm out of space back here. Where are you gonna go? Back window? I can't really fit it back there. Yeah, I don't know about that. This is the first real drive out on the street in this car. I ended up using this stock steering wheel. I didn't have time to put the other one on. It's an IS300 steering wheel. See how it drives. So stoked right now. This car's got all the amenities of a whatever. Yeah, of a luxury car. And then all the features of a race car also. Best of both worlds. Like I can open the trunk from inside with the popper, and I can open the gas door with the popper too. And got a place for my drink. Like, come on now. It's the good stuff. But the seatbelt's rather hard to put on. I have to look into that. About this event we've been trying so hard to get ready for. This is the first time
in history.
Yeah, UMC's been open for what? More than 10 years. And we've never driven on the kart track. And like, you guys know, kart tracks are like really, really good for drifting. And this is the first time they're allowing drifting on the kart track. And it's also the first time I've ever drifted this car. So hopefully it's a good combo. But the rest of this video, I hope, is drifting and not us working on the car. Let's go! All right guys, we made it to the track. This car did amazing on the freeway. I couldn't believe like how well it drove. It felt pretty smooth and like it just cruised. We did 100 miles an hour at one point on the way out here. At 100 it started to like vibrate and make some noises that I wasn't comfortable with. So we backed it off, but like overall it's just smooth, comfortable. Like I can't believe how well it came together for the sketchy ghetto alignment we did. Like it was really good, really good. So we passed tech, we're all good to go. Oh man, it looks so good. I just want to go drive it. I want to see what it does. See what it does. Let's go.
Okay guys, here we are. Brandon's just getting ready to test out this new car with the kart track. Coming up here, see what's going on.
sick. This is the best car I've ever built. I don't know if that's true, but like, I'm like, usually like you put a car together like this and we literally just drove 60 miles without ever testing the car. And my first 2 laps were like butter. Like the steering's good, the engine's good, the brake's good, the handbrake works. Everything feels so good on this car. The alignment's good. Like I cannot believe how good this car drives. I am beyond stoked. Like I've been dreaming about driving this car for however long this has been sitting in the shop. And like my dreams just came true right now. So good, so good. Got a little bit hot and like it's puking out of the overflow that we didn't finish, but like other than that, no problem. I didn't even have a laptop to watch what the temp was, but it just kept going. So stoked. Yes, yes. All right, I definitely lied to you guys. I said,
what's up, YouTube?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at this guy. Oh, wow. Look at this guy. Former YouTube co-star. I call that to Kelly too. Yeah. I told you guys I wasn't gonna be working on this car, but here we are with the car in the air, working on it. A couple things happened, but first let me say, I had 2 of the best laps of my life. Not because it's like the best car I've ever driven, not because it's the best track I've ever driven, but because it's the car I've always wanted to drive and own, and we just finished it, and like there's this emotional, like, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, it's the same deal with the track. It's a track that's been in our backyard for over 10 years, and we finally got to drive it. And I did the laps in my dream car on that track. Like, oh my goodness, I am so stoked. Anyways, we're working on the car. Let me show you what's going on. Hey, it's my other YouTube co-star, former. No, we're current friends. What is this on your neck?
Bro, this is my souvenir from yesterday. You know, you taught me this. Test a car by doing a burnout, and I tried to do it in reverse.
That gear's not. Have you seen the dog box gears? They're like that fat, that big around, and the reverse gear's like
baby gear.
Please don't let the clutch out too much.
Yeah.
It's literally there just to make you go backwards sometimes.
Dude, there's a forum all about it in NASCAR. Like they said, they had to have reverse, and if they didn't need it, it wouldn't be in there. It'd be a motorcycle car.
So what's going on here is I had some good laps and back at it. We heard it rubbing a little bit. I think I heard it at the shop, but it wasn't so bad. When we got here, it did a little bit more. I did a couple laps, and then finally it broke the fiberglass, which I'm not happy about. But we got it like tacked back down there.
I heard
Still
it rubbing at
have
the
it.
shop.
What?
While you were on the track.
Well, that's not good. You really did?
No.
Oh, come on, this guy. We have a second hole we can use to save it. Obviously, these fenders aren't fitted very well because I can fit my whole finger in there. But what I'm doing now is pulling the caster forward a little bit. So I just lengthened that arm. I'm gonna go do the other one, measure side to side. In the meantime, we found a little bit of oil leak, so we left a drip right in front of Cole's shop.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Pavement sealing.
And Jake figured out that the dipstick wasn't seated properly. I usually do an O-ring and goop. This time I did no goop, and apparently the O-ring was missing. I thought that big bubble on top was the O-ring, but it's not. It's just a big bubble, and it wasn't doing any sealing. So now we put some 90-minute gasket maker in there, and probably let that set up for a little bit. And that should cure that oil leak. I was worried there was some big oil leak, like it was gonna be a big problem, but that shouldn't keep us from driving today. So other than these 2 little things, probably after I do the caster, I'll do a little bit of toe adjustment to make sure it feels good. But man, this car, I'm so stoked. So stoked I can't even, just like, no words. All right, I got all the caster, camber, toe. No, I didn't try to touch the camber. I got that all figured out. Decided to touch the, to mess with the tire pressure because I haven't actually touched it since Wes mounted them. Hey Neil, can you read that tire pressure?
Well, not for the Why?
I never checked it.
You did the same thing as Kelly.
I never checked it. Cole actually mentioned to me, he's like, hey, some story about Kelly and tire pressure, and Kelly's like, you know, it's at 35. He's like, no, it's actually at 40 something. So I decided to check my front pressure. 53.5.
Really?
And this was the best lap I've ever had in this car. Granted, it was the first lap I've ever had in this car, but I wonder how much better it can get.
You'll put them back down, and then
it'll drive like crap.
It's just gonna suck.
Chris Knapp, he actually told me, he's like, dude, if you're driving a JZX or a IS300, raise your front tire pressure if you're having problems like rotating. And I raised it in Trenton's car to like some ridiculous, like 45. No, probably not. Oh, okay. But it actually drove pretty good.
It's like some...
One thing we didn't have time to fix yet was the starting problem. So you have a wire that goes right to the starter, and it works just fine. So my problem is whenever something like that works, I tend to leave it because I'm like, oh, I know how to start it. Also, that's kind of the best theft prevention you can have. So unless you watch my videos, you don't know how to steal my car. One thing is, I wish I had a parking brake. I have a handbrake, but not a parking brake. Click, 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 click. But I don't have that. That's one thing I wish I could make work in this car. Maybe I will someday, but I don't have any of the parking brake mechanisms for the rear, so I gotta find all that stuff to make it happen. But like Jake said, maybe I'll get a bungee cord for now. So what I do is, since I've got a welded diff, you just turn the wheel and it diff binds. So we got everything figured out. We're just waiting for the track to go live again. But there's actually lights on the track. I don't know if you can see them. Hey, there's Josh Sweeten.
I was just gonna say how bitching that lap was.
It was so much fun.
Oh my gosh,
so
I could
much
see
fun.
you shaking. You were so excited.
Yeah. I was happy.
I was over there.
Thank you. There's lights on the track. I had no idea. I'm actually really excited about that. This is gonna be an amazing night. Amazing night. One thing I wasn't certain about either when I started was like this thing, like touching my leg and leaving me bruises here, and I think it's gonna be a little bit of an issue. I'll probably have to like shimmy it a little bit and move it, but not a huge deal, but it's definitely something. Like I said in my last video, I didn't want to cut this because these are really expensive and hard to find. So I mounted this over this way, but I think if I just move it like that, it'll still pull pretty well, and I won't have a sore, bruised leg. All right, we got the laptop hooked up, so we're gonna check and see what's going on, finally get some actual data on track. It started cutting out after the last lap. I think it got to 110 probably, and it's got an over temp protection at 110 where it's a rev limiter at 3,500. I think that's what was happening, but I'm not sure, so we'll find out. We'll also see what kind of boost pressures we're hitting, what kind of air-fuel ratio. But this is gonna be the first lap with Jake in the car. This will be my third lap in this car on this track. I think they switched from the full track to like to a shorter track. So I'm gonna have to ask Nick when we get up there, like where we're at, if it's gonna be the full or like, you know, half and half track. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Look at that vibrating zip tie. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Look at that. Look at it go. Woo. So we're doing two tracks simultaneously on that. They split the kart track in half. This is probably the best drift event we've ever had in Utah. I'm so excited. I feel like people aren't excited enough for what's going on right now. I'm like beyond thrilled about this whole thing. So sick. I went off.
I know you did.
Okay, yell at me.
Stop going in the dirt, Wick Nick!
I'm so sorry, Carrie.
All right, no problem. I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Are you watching King of the Hill over there?
I sell propane. cut out.
No, I wanted a tandem with a Tesla.
Sorry.
I guess we can follow him. Jordan's shredding in that car.
That thing has 800 horsepower.
800?
I think that's what they say Teslas have.
Wow. Alright, so I get about 3 laps.
That's why I cut out, guys. 112 temperature, it's got safety.
Hey, will you tell him to stay out of the f***ing dirt?
Oh.
That's strike 2 for me.
Yeah.
Did we hit the dirt?
Now, hey,
This time he's really mad.
3 strikes and I'm gonna take your car.
To the mall.
He's not joking either. I know he's not joking.
I'm taking this thing.
It likes to skate a little bit, like my S13. I like it, but it's
What
not
size
fast.
tires are on it?
They're 08Cs, 265s,
What pressure?
35.
Well, you got about 23 more pounds to drop. It felt really balanced.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to drive, but I just don't know if it's gonna be fast.
It's interesting, yeah. It feels like it has a lot of anti-squat. The back doesn't drop.
Unlike Trenton's car, this has a front and rear sway bar, which I like, but maybe that's taking away some grip.
Maybe you need to drop 2K spring into me or something, because it really didn't feel like the back went down. It felt like we went up and over.
Oh, really? I'm not good at paying attention to that when I'm driving. I'm just like,
Yeah.
car go, gas go,
Yeah, I mean,
car
it felt
turn.
fast for sure, but obviously not like
Right.
competition fast.
It's only on 10 pounds. Turn it up and drive it more later.
Horsepower-wise, that was only 10 pounds?
Not bad.
Wow, that's seriously healthy.
Yeah.
It's got 5.5 cylinders.
It's time to go tandem with Nick Stuckey. I sold my car that was a twin for this car, and this is the replacement for this car. So now we need to test and see if these two cars can hang together. They're both 4-door, they're both Toyota, like they should be sick.
One's
But
reliable.
Hey, yeah, you're right. I'm overheating after 2 laps.
Oh, all right.
So I still gotta work on that. But I want to see
Taurus
how,
fan
like,
or what?
it's got a Taurus fan.
Oh, okay.
I just, I don't know, cut a big hole in the hood.
Do you have aluminum tape and all that junk? Or?
No, not yet.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah.
So I want to see how they are horsepower-wise, how we do together on this kart track. 2 things I want to point out. 1, these Valinas are doing really, really good for tire wear, and 2, for having like a really basic alignment. Like we didn't even measure it hardly. That's really, really good tire wear for having like just a fast, quick alignment. I'm stoked on that.
I'm on 215s. Actually, wait, no, these are 235s. Sorry?
All right, guys, a little update on what's going on. My phone died for a while. Oh, I'm getting all my notifications. I turned my phone on. We came off track. I did the lap with Nick Stuckey. We did some tandems. He said he had no problem following me, which is exactly what I wanted to know, is if we could drive together. He's got GoPro footage. I probably, if I get it from him, it'll be before this. You'll have already seen it. Anyways, looked like it was a good lap. Came off track, and my car went pop, and like popped and then died. And I was like, why did it do that? I don't know. So that was kind of weird. I assumed it was fuel related. So we're like, okay, can hear the fuel pump, start diagnosing fuel related problems. ECU shows good fuel pressure. I'm cranking it. When I crank it, it's like like only one cylinder's hitting. Why would only one cylinder be hitting? So then I was like, oh, let's think. Then I spent like 30 minutes looking for a phone charger because I didn't want my phone to be dead. I wanted to be able to update what's going on with all this stuff. So after 30 minutes of looking for my phone charger, I come back and I'm like, okay, what's going on? What are we thinking? All the time, of course, losing track time. But honestly, I'm not that bummed that I'm losing track time. Like, I'm having fun. I got my laps in this car. I don't want to abuse too much. I just want to like have some fun, and I've had some fun. I'm not trying to tandem or get doors or anything like that in this car. I just like, anyways, where we're at now, what we figured out. We started unplugging coils and checking for power at the coils because I'm like, it sounds like the coils aren't firing. We smelled fuel. You crank it and you can smell fuel right away. Like it's dumping fuel, but not burning the fuel. So we start checking power to the coils. Well, Jake pulled off number 3 and there's no power to number 3. So it's like, okay, there's gotta be power on one of them. We haven't checked all of them yet. And I was like, just for fun, Jake, why don't you power up coil 3? Because all those coils are attached through the same power wire. Power up coil 3 and let's see what happens. Sure enough, the car starts on 5 cylinders, obviously because one's unplugged. Starts up right away. So now we know for sure we have a problem with power getting to the coils. The question is why? And I know where all my powers are. I just literally wired this up the other day, and all the power should be coming from one source that's also feeding the wideband, the injectors, the ECU, all this stuff. So why did we lose injector power to 5 coils? Sorry, why did we lose coil power to 5 coils, not 6? And why when they're all attached to the same power source? So anyways, we're tracing wires right now. Anything?
Well, we have power, at least on the exposed wiring under the dash.
Okay.
So it's something between here and here.
What the heck? Well, I'm really curious which one has power. Because one of them has to. Remember, it was going ba 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 ba.
So we can just take them.
I don't know if that really helps us. I'm ready to just twist wires together because I really want to drive this thing. What can we do to make this happen? I don't know what that looks like either because there's definitely a junction down here, so it's not gonna be the same color as what's up there. Dang it, we did bring the electrical stuff. I'm gonna jump off the video and do some serious diag and some serious work right now, and I'll update you guys on what's going on. Anyways, this is by far, for me personally, the funnest drift event we've ever had in Utah, and I've been drifting here for over 10 years. I'm like beyond stoked right now. I just wish the car was working. But either way, I had my laps, I had a blast. I would just like to get a few more laps before it ends in 45 minutes. All right, so Jake just found out that there is power to the coils now, just from unplugging and moving wires. So there's gotta be something bad in this coil harness. I've already wanted to rebuild this coil harness. It's the worst looking part of this entire harness, so I guess I'll be doing that. I just really didn't want to work on this car anymore. Did you lose power now? No, we got power. All right, let's go drive some more. Whoa. Well, we can't really fix it right now, so let's just plug it in, wiggle it till we got power, and let's drive it. And we know what to wiggle to make it start on the side of the freeway. Jake, don't break it. You're gonna rip the wire in half.
Okay.
We know what's wrong. Sometimes when you wiggle too much, things stop working completely. She gonna start this time.
I'll leave the harness up.
It likes being up. Is that all of them?
I think so.
All right, let's see if it starts. My only regret here is that I'm not using a power probe to start the car. No, I could. All right, Jake. Power probe. What? Maybe the jump box is
toast.
Yeah. Crank her up. Hey! All right, let's go drive. All right, so I went out for a lap on the track. Car got hot immediately, and it hit the 5,000 RPM over temp rev limiter. So I knew it was overheating. I didn't have the laptop on, or I don't have any gauges yet. So I came back in, fan was blowing, radiator was hot on top, but the fan was blowing cold air. So I figured there must not be water flowing through there. Top of the radiator is just heat soaked. So we came to cool it. Laptop's about to die. but even so, it's still at 102. So I'm about to do my old open the radiator cap with my shoe trick. All right, you can back away, Jake, for safety. Will you film me death? I'm gonna film my death. This is what you do when you don't want to wait. That's not good. It's full of water. Did I blow a head gasket?
I hope not.
Huh. Why would it not cool down? This doesn't make sense. This isn't good. I don't think this engine has a thermostat. Alright. That was underwhelming. Oh, it's a triple pass, so maybe it just needs some water in there somewhere. Can you feel it? I'm hoping that's all it needs. I mean, there was a bunch of coolant like all over, water all over here and in this whole area, so it definitely like spit out a bunch, but I'm wondering how much water it'll take. That has to be the problem. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you set an overtemp limit, so you don't go out and boost your motor when it's got no water in the radiator. So that probably saved us, because I would have just gone out and done a lap assuming that it was cool enough to do it. Without a gauge, the only way I know when it's overheating is when it hits the overtemp protection. I can't explain to you how cool it is to watch cars drifting on the kart track under the lights. So good. So we'll still need a new battery. This is the battery out of the budget car, and it's from like 2013. And it's toast. But I gotta give a huge shout out to Brody for putting red on the positive cable, because I'm notorious for hooking up the cables backwards and causing problems. So I think he knew that, and he didn't tell me that to be nice, but he just did it anyways, knowing that it would be a problem. Okay, let's go start it now. All right, I'm gonna start it. Okay. Neutral. Where's my starter wire? There it is. Can't see anything. Come on now. Key on. Tell if it's full. Jake just showed me this trick with his phone. He just shakes it and it turns on. And I would say, like, I didn't know that because I'm old, but Jake's older than me and he knows that, so I got no excuse. I said, Jake, can you make my phone do that? That's sick. You guys are all in the video probably like, you stupid, my phone does that. But I'm still impressed by simple things. Alright, let's go! Oh, the second best thing about this car? Hood struts. I love it. Yes.
one horsepower. Yeah, this is like 2 donkeys. Like 1 goat. A gallon of milk.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
It's the most power that thing's ever seen. We gotta wiggle some wires again, Jake. If you wiggle the wire, if you wiggle the right wire, the car will start. That's what we figured out with our diagnostics.
Is that a thing you can fix with the Power Pro?
I mean, probably.
Good.
So the cool thing about this car, it's got a huge trunk. Like the IS300 was nothing compared to this. I mean, we even got a battery in the way, and I can probably fit like 3 or 4 wheels back here. Well stacked. But like this car on Drift Week, I'll be able to fit like, I can take 4 people with all their luggage. I should start doing what do you call it, the taxi service, Uber and stuff in this. That would be sick. Take people's stuff to the airport. All right, we got that. Roof rack. Take bikes, take people up to ski resorts. Yeah, tons of space. The back seats, I really don't want to get them dirty, so we put a Harbor Freight blanket in there to keep it from getting dirty. Trying to keep this car nice. All right, it's the end of the night at UMC. This was by far, for me, one of the best drift event we've ever had at UMC. And we've had a lot. Nick and I have been here for 12 years. You don't think so?
No, I was just trying to make funny faces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, we've been out here a while.
Like, remember when we would do stuff like when Yasha was here and like we'd go on the paddock and we were like, you know, young and like doing that stuff?
Yeah.
That was fun. Like,
the gap in the...
yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun because like it was kind of like the Wild West and they didn't really know to shut us down because we were doing, it was fun, but like nothing compared to this. We've always been on the paddock. We drifted once on the track at GT Live.
I mean, we know, like growing up and all that, everybody knows like in Japan or whatever, kart tracks are like the move.
Yep.
That's where drifting goes.
And we did. In 2009, we drove on the big track, but
Yeah.
we all had low
On the
powered
kart
cars,
track.
and it was just like.
You're old. 2009? Bro.
But for me, by far, this is the best drift event. We had 2 tracks going under the lights. It reminded me of
6
RMR
hours or
because
5
remember
hours.
RMR was under the lights.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about RMR.
This would be great as a nighttime session.
Oh
if we do it.
gosh.
We probably will through the winter.
Yeah.
Keep running those. Yeah.
Yep. I told myself I wasn't going to tandem, but I did some laps with Stucky because I wanted to see how our cars compared
This is
with each
where you
other.
cut to it, you go, cut.
I already said this exact same thing before. I don't have to edit all this stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
And so the next one is the Pros and Bros after FD, right?
Bros before Pros.
Sorry, I called them Bros before Pros. Yeah, that's gonna be fun because some of those guys with their like powerful cars, Nick's still gonna be able to door.
Oh yeah, it's easy. Yeah. Well, they don't know how to like. They just mash.
Mash, and you're like,
Yeah. You gotta just.
yeah.
Yes.
When your vehicle speed's like 38 and your wheel speed's like 39.
Yeah, that's how you get.
That's how you.
Yeah.
This was a blast. I'm super stoked. I'm stoked on my car. I'm stoked on this track. I'm excited because
I mean, I think, well, you've been all around the West. I do think, I've been telling people, like, hyping them up, like, this is the best, or one of the best tracks in the West. Yeah?
The car just died again. Yeah, hidden gem, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Like,
Yep.
I mean, we've seen it on the sidelines forever. We've rented the karts or whatever, gone out for kart racing and all that junk, but, like, they've never let us. Like,
Right.
I got to test in 2013, and then they said no. And then I got to test earlier this year, and they said yes, finally.
yeah.
But yeah, it's easily like a Villains or like a Grange ABS type.
Oh, yeah.
Or Medford or Park or whatever. It's up there at like that level of being perfect.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
drifting. It's so fun.
And there's
like a million. Like no, there's not just 2. There's a million.
Really?
Have you not seen the map?
No.
Look it up and like just start scribbling and see what you like the best.
What I'm saying is
When
there's 2 simultaneous layouts.
Yeah,
You can split it in half and get.
There's like 2, but those 2 can also be split into like a couple others. So yeah.
So good.
There's a lot of really good.
So
or
good.
reverse. We can run reverse too.
Nick and I have got something coming up. Can't really talk about it, but like big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal. It'll be fun.
I gotta
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
What?
We gotta work on stuff.
Oh yeah.
Fix
you make
things,
your car.
yeah.
Terry,
What's up?
how did this event go?
Dude, this event was fire. I had a lot of fun. I think everybody was pretty excited to be out there.
Any major incidents?
Yeah, totally. The biggest incident was Nick Stucky went in the dirt one time.
Wait, you only busted him once?
He's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
No, but like this, I think this is the future.
I think it was awesome.
This is amazing.
So the one thing I wanted to get your feedback on was what you felt about the difference between the big track and the split course.
We were talking about that before you got here.
Yeah.
I like the 2 small tracks because there's more seat time.
Okay.
We were talking about if you bomb that straight, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's only so wide. You can't be going 100 miles an hour on a kart track. You know. So I like them split for that reason. I didn't do the other track. I wish I would have, because these guys were telling me it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. East entry on that direction is really good. Yeah.
I like them split, right? Under the lights, it reminds me of Rocky Mountain races. Before you got here, we had Rocky Mountain races. We do like these midnight drags. It's like this whole vibe, and like I learned how to drive at night. And so like coming back here, like so good, so good. I can't tell you how. I mean, I told you earlier, we've been driving here for over 10 years, and this is the funnest event I've ever had.
Dude, my heart was like all up in my throat all night, not because I was scared or nervous, but because I was just like amazed to see the action on the kart track.
Yep.
And just people going and ripping, and nobody was sad.
No.
Right?
No.
There was no time for emotional
No.
sadness.
Except my YouTube co-star Kelly, he was sad, but he's always sad. He's a sad boy.
Yeah. What happened to Kelly anyways?
Something, I don't know. He was complaining. He got mad at me, yelled at me, and drove off.
What?
I'll take care of him tomorrow. Don't worry.
Oh, I'll take care of him too.
No, I was gonna tell you. I forgot what I was gonna tell you.
Probably something important.
No, it's just so good. I'm stoked. Oh, the pros before bros. Bros and pros. Pros and bros.
Bros before pros.
Yes, dude. That's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be fire, dude.
These guys have no idea what they're coming for at this track.
No, I'm so excited. Like, especially to get some other pros out there. Like, you know, like it's gonna be fun. Dude.
Yep.
It's
worth coming from out of state. If you're in Vegas, Arizona, California, Colorado, it's
even
totally worth coming.
New Mexico or Old Mexico.
Orale.
Orale.
How do they sign up? Plug it.
Sign up by going to Motorsport Reg and searching Bros Before Pros.
Yes. The more people, the better.
The more people, the better.
It's gonna be so sick. It's right. It's the day after FD.
Yeah, it's the day after FD.
When I was doing FD, I would always go to them. We did one in Seattle.
Right.
They do one at Park. Like it's the perfect thing because it's so much fun to drive with these dudes.
Yep.
It's gonna be awesome.
And there'll be a lot of people coming out. Drift Rap will come out and support. DC Sports is gonna come out and support. They're gonna give away a lot of gear and stuff. And
it's gonna be so big.
yeah, it's gonna be huge. So we'll see you out there.
Yep.
We'll see you
Thanks,
out there.
Terry.
Thank you.
I'm down to 5%, so I'm gonna close the video. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys, I'm talking to you two because you're the only ones that watch my videos. Hey. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.